On this episode of Nerds Talking the Podcast, it's Friday the 13th. What are your superstitions? What are you scared of? Is there anything that you try to avoid on this particular day? Also, Laura's back from Mexico with her stories about, well, Mexico. And movies that scare you as a child, as an adult. Which movies on this Friday the 13th scare you till this day? And finally, quirks. Do you have a quirk? Do you do something that you don't notice that you always do? Maybe it's a nervous tick. Maybe it's OCD. Maybe it's all of them. All that and more in this episode of Nerds Talking the Podcast. Now start the show.
Nerds Talking, the podcast.
Yo, we talk about lightsabers, stunning your TV screens, what you want to stream, everything beyond your dreams. Want to talk about movies, sports, or even politics? Go ahead and tune into us. We'll give you all of it. Whatever you're debating, Xbox or PlayStation, Marvel or DC, Mac or PC. Teraflops when the movie drops, gigabytes, chips, RAM, no matter what it is, we got all of it. Welcome to the show.
Nerds Talking, the podcast.
Welcome to Nerds Talking, the podcast. I'm here with Carlos, Johnny, and Laura has returned from her long vacation. So welcome back.
Thank you. Great to be here, folks.
There you go. Special announcement starting on, I don't even know the day. Carlos, what day would that be? The 20th. Nerds Talking will be back to one show a week on Fridays. Just more of a time thing, people. Johnny doesn't have time. That's, you know what? I'm just going to tell her that. Johnny doesn't have time. He got time for you.
Oh, it's my fault?
Yeah, well, I have to blame somebody. So,
I'll take it, but we all know the truth.
Yeah.
Your evil scheme didn't work, did it?
Yes. I tried so hard to have 5 days a week, and it didn't work. All right, well, there you go. So starting on the 20th, 1 day a week, Fridays. If you catch us on a Tuesday, it'll probably be some type of special episode, like with one or two of us just doing something. But as for Fridays, you should catch the whole crew here. And before we jump into anything, this week's movie, there's only one movie coming out this week, and it's already sold
Taylor Swift!
That's right. It's already sold over $60 million in tickets. Taylor Swift's The Eras Tour movie is coming out this week. It is 3 hours long. And
hours? Whatever. I mean, I guess if it's a concert, that's you're like, I gotta go pee. I'm so drunk.
Well, you also have to imagine you're probably gonna have some cuts in between of her getting ready,
Behind the scenes,
yeah,
specials.
behind the scenes, yeah, probably something where they're rehearsing and they show like the rehearsal of one song and then goes to the actual concert version of the song. But that's coming out. Taylor Swift is taking over. So Taylor Swift, the thing about Taylor Swift, she was approached by almost all like studios to produce this movie, and they wanted so much of it, like the cut. And she said, "No, I'll produce it myself for $20 million. I'm gonna take it directly to the movie theaters, so she can make all the money herself."
Well, good for her.
So so she
Yeah,
cut out
because
big dogs.
she's totally broke. She needs money,
right?
I mean, like, if you want creative
times.
control and you want to do it yourself, and shit, maybe she's banking up for a fat ass retirement. Does she have kids yet? She probably doesn't have kids. So
No,
she's banking up to. She's beefing up that bank account, ready to pop out a baby.
I think her.
I don't see that happening.
I think her bank account's good. I think she's doing all right.
I mean, yeah,
no, I mean,
compared to
I get
us-
the creative control thing, though. I mean, because the studios would probably want a large chunk of change, but she's got so much fucking power that like they should have like came in asking for crumbs. You're like, Taylor, just please let me get 5%.
Yeah,
5% of the 1%, please. Just anything. Just sign my T-shirt. That's what I would have been if I was a Paramount executive. Just a T-shirt.
They were
But she's all about control. I mean, she's rewriting her album so she can have control over her own songs. And look, I mean, it's all she's about. It's a smart move. It's a genius move.
it is.
well,
A power move.
and why would you give any money to movie studios? Honestly, at all? Like,
Yeah, when you can do it yourself. That's just
exactly.
like, it would be like throwing away money. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not a baller, but I'm not going to throw away money on something that I don't need to. So
I mean,
I admire her for it. Financial
No.
savvy.
I agree, because this isn't the first concert we've seen in the theaters before, and I'm sure she's talked to other artists and be like, "Hey, how much did you get for that? Like
Yeah.
1 million, but it made 200 million at the box office." And it's simple math. More money is better.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You should be a financial advisor.
More is better than less.
That's right. Everyone,
if you need
Johnny,
my
would you
financial
like
tips.
to manage?
Johnny's
Would
financial
you like
tips.
to manage my portfolio?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if you have more than less, it's pretty good. And that's it's pretty good, Johnny. Pretty good. That's where the math stereotype comes in. I knew you were good at numbers.
It would be a what's that show with the like prank anchors or some shit where you're just talking to people like handling their money. Yeah. You should make more money, and then
That's it.
everything would be better.
That's
You're
it.
like, what the
You
fuck
should
is
just
wrong
make
with this
more
guy?
money. Like
You
that's
should do a
it.
Tony Robbins seminar, dude. And
Yeah.
that's your pitch.
You should.
If only.
How to make more money is like people come in, they pay you 3-hour seminar.
Only. Oh my god, those guys are paying like $5,000, $10,000 for a seminar, and they're the happiest people in the world.
Cult of personality, man.
Yeah,
I'm just
great
like, I
business.
wish I was that dumb that I would be able to just receive so much hope and aspiration from, an hour with one person.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think we brought this up before. How many
Johnny's
people have
that
actually
dumb.
watched or listened to Tony Robbins?
I mean,
I
I watched his special.
That's what I mean.
I want to
Yeah.
watch that documentary. You brought
That's
it up again,
right,
Johnny, because
that's
I remember
right,
when you
the
talked about it, I was like,
documentary,
I want to
yeah.
watch it, and I haven't.
I mean, it
But
was
I am gonna
inspiring,
text you
for sure.
How did
I'm
it
gonna
inspire
text
you?
you for your Netflix password or code,
Well,
because I
you
want to
guys
watch
hear
that,
this?
and I want to watch the Michelle
Oh.
Wolf.
Oh yeah,
comedy
that just
special.
came out. That
It'll be
just,
funny.
I
is like-
love her.
but it looks like it was recorded on my phone in a dungeon.
I don't care. She's hilarious. She's on TikTok all the time. Her stand-up
no,
bits
she's
are
funny.
so funny.
But I just want to know how Johnny got inspired by Tony Robbins.
It's inspiring. It doesn't mean like I went out and I fucking invented the wheel or anything like that. It was just inspiring to watch these stories and how people overcame this or that, fixed relationships, or
Yeah.
moved on with their life. I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like even you,
No, nothing
the
can
f-
inspire me.
even you.
Only the WNBA finals can inspire me, which is happening right now.
Speaking of which, what do you think? This is my idea to fix the
Uh-oh.
WNBA.
Okay.
Shut it down.
That's just
Make all the hoops 8 feet instead of 10.
nah, it's too
You
low.
said this
Too
already.
low. Yeah.
You said
too low.
this
9
already.
feet.
Yeah, that's a great idea. No,
8 feet's way
fine.
too low. 9 feet, because
No.
most just about all of them can dunk a 9-foot rim. So you need to make it
Okay,
9 feet.
so then make it
9 feet?
fucking 8 feet, and then make spectacular dunks. I don't want to like
Basketball's
watch.
usually 10 feet tall.
Yes.
Men's basketball.
Yeah,
Which you have to understand. Women can't do spectacular
3
dunks.
feet in the air. Jesus Christ, good for
Yeah,
them.
but you have to understand the average basketball player is also 6'5", 6'6".
Okay, fine.
In the
2.5
WNBA?
feet in the air.
WNBA,
No,
the
I'm talking about the
average
regular.
player is like
Oh.
6 foot tall. Yeah, actually, probably not even 6 feet tall. Yeah. Maybe
I used to
maybe
be
6
able to
foot tall.
dunk back in the day.
Yeah,
Back in the day.
only
I
thing
can
I
jump
dunk is
probably
donuts.
like, yeah,
Yeah,
4 inches off the ground. That's
ooh, you've got better.
Yeah, higher than Johnny. Good job. Good job. So Taylor Swift led us to Tony Robbins, led us to Johnny's WNBA fix. So, and his only fix was 8-foot rims. That's it. That's the fix.
What do you mean only? That's a spectacular idea. They already make
And only
those
one
balls
half,
small.
and only one quarter, or whatever. Just one.
Not even that. First to score
20
wins.
minutes.
It's
20
a
minutes.
fucking. It's a game of horse
Sudden death.
between
Sudden
12
the
and 12.
highlight
The
reel.
best shooters. The best shooters.
It's just sudden
Pick
death right
one
off the
from each
tip.
team.
That's it.
No,
And there's
it
only
should-
one hoop. You know that? There's only one hoop in the
Oh,
middle.
like 3-on-3.
Yeah, and
Here's
that's when
the
it's in the middle. But the
question.
whole court's open, but there's only one in the middle. No backboard. It's just a hoop.
No, it should
Do
just
they
be the-
wear short enough shorts?
No,
Because
they.
No,
that's
when they
the
first-
women sports like beach volleyball,
Well, that's
gymnastics.
different.
Yes.
That's
They
different.
just
too,
they
though.
have to wear shorter shorts, and
Yeah, they
that
wear
would
shorts.
change
Okay.
things.
No,
They're called bun huggers. True story.
Yeah.
The WNBA when they first started,
Super creepy.
owners wanted that. They wanted them to wear, like, let's say you're large. Okay, you have to wear a medium.
Good for them that the
but
women said "fuck off."
exactly,
Good for
women
them.
said no.
Well, I mean, they're like mostly like lesbians, right? So they're
Yeah,
not.
fuck
they're
off.
like, yeah, fuck off, bro. But
Okay.
if you really want to fix it, make it the WNBA Squid Game edition. and then boom, it's like the biggest show on Netflix. You get the biggest ratings. What do you think?
Although you can do the whole season
no, but
in
okay.
one night. Whole
Yeah.
season in one night. All right. You started the season 1, and then at the very end of the night, the championship game. Do like Lafayette said, tip off. Whoever wins a tip wins. Move on. Next game. Tip.
Not even that. They should film they should like do the whole season in a month and just make it a docuseries every time you want to watch a season. It's just 6 episodes on Netflix. You're like, I was at that game.
How to make more money that way.
Yeah, wouldn't be a bad idea. I'm on to something. I'm telling you. And how many guys do you think would like cross over and be like, I'm a girl now and I want to sign up for the WNBA?
Just you.
Oh, it's coming.
What
It's
movie
coming.
was that?
We'll see it
That was
eventually.
Joanna Man.
Joanna Man.
Joanna Man. Yeah. Good old Joanna Man.
Well, that's
So-
like the rugby
coming.
player who the rugby player who said he was a woman. And that was it. He didn't change
Wait.
the way he dressed, the way he looked, nothing.
Wait,
He
time
just said,
out.
I'm a woman. And they let him play on the women's rugby team.
Wait, that's all it takes now?
Oh.
That's
No,
it.
some Canadian did that in weightlifting. Did you see that?
Really?
He was like, yeah, because the rules didn't specify like how you identified yourself or something like that. He's
Oh
like,
my
well,
God.
I'm a woman, and he like broke the bench press record.
Yeah, of course he
And then-
did.
Yeah, and he
It's,
did it for
no.
a point, but then
Mm.
like the real like women's bench press record holders, who's like, that ain't right.
Of course they are.
That ain't right, eh?
How much testosterone does she take?
I'm signing up for under 12 soccer next week. I'm a wreck shop.
I
Was it
don't.
for- It was
Identify
girls
the-
though,
I
right? It has to
That's
be
how
girls.
I
11-year-old.
identify.
Yeah,
That's how I identify. Identify.
like I read at a 12-year-old level. So.
I'm signing up for wheelchair basketball, but that's just me. I'm not even gonna
Without a
identify.
wheelchair?
Yeah,
Without a wheelchair?
I'm not gonna identify. I just walk in. Nah, he looks like he needs help. Yeah, you can play, kid. Like, oh,
Let's go on rollerblades.
I just accidentally walked in here. You sure you're not a player?
Be one hell of a make-a-wish right there.
Oh, yeah. So, okay, there you go. We fixed the WNBA. Look at us. Look at us, pioneers of sports.
Problem solvers.
Mm-hmm. I like how Johnny slid in like the gender thing. Just kind of like, don't you identify. Don't you identify. But yeah, there's
But they
two
in
genders.
all honesty, they should lower the rim. They use a smaller ball.
Smaller ball. They already what?
Don't they use? They don't use an NBA ball.
No.
They use a smaller ball. They use
Yeah,
a
they
college
use-
ball.
That's
women's
what I
college
said.
ball.
Smaller ball.
Yeah.
So why not drop the rim? I mean, you're already changing the rules for the ball size because you can't handle it because of your small hands. Change your
Well,
rim
that
size.
in a way is a
because you
little bit
can't
lighter.
jump that high. You can barely make a layup. It's like barely skimming the bottom of the glass before it goes up and over.
Yeah, no, some of them is pretty bad. Yeah, no, it's pretty bad. It is be 9-foot rims. The 3-point line is moved in maybe a foot, and then that's it. That's all you really need to do. Boom, you'll see more action. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think the WNBA finals are going on right now. Do you know what teams are
they
playing?
are. It's New York versus Las
the-
Vegas.
The
Is it really?
girls
I
versus the
yeah.
girls.
I,
Isn't
I
who's playing?
didn't
New
think
York
you guys would know.
versus Las Vegas.
Isn't LeBron flying out to Vegas to watch the game?
He went to
Something?
game one.
Yeah,
Went to game. It's all the NBA told him to do that. That's what that was. Hey, dude, we need some PR. Can you go show up to the women's finals? Yeah, sure. It's in Vegas. Why not? You know. So he's not gonna say no to Vegas.
They're
So
playing on the strip. They should play on the strip.
yeah, just
Probably
up
get a
and down
bigger
the street.
crowd. Yeah, just get a bit.
they just-
like blacktop basketball. Remember
Yeah,
when we used to play the?
They just
tournaments?
bust out 2 portable hoops.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then
That's it, man.
cars. And they get off the
Yeah.
go to the
Oh, you
sidewalk.
could play. You can play in the
crowd.
Caesars.
Yeah.
In the Caesars by the fountains.
Oh, that's right. You can play by the
Yeah.
fountain. Yeah, yeah.
Bunch
yeah.
of drunkies will stop and watch for sure.
You can play a circus.
For
No one's
sure.
there. Plenty of room. Yeah.
Nothing but bed bugs.
Yeah. Oh, circus.
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh, circus is such a shithole. Yeah. That's where I thought Laura went was Vegas, and then she said Mexico, and now she's gonna have to tell us all about Mexico. Did you get a Mexico experience where you just resort life?
Resort life.
Ah, it's not the
Because-
same.
That's a way to do it.
No,
Like,
the
what do you
first
want to? What do you
time-
want from her, Lafayette? You want her to be kidnapped? and
Cartels.
fucking-
Yeah. I want to look at
No.
a
You
really
have all
good
your
story.
fingers, loser.
The first time I went to Mexico, we did the all inclusive. I only had one kid at that point, and we were there for like 5 days. And I'm like, I'm going to go to another country and not go anywhere. So I did an excursion, and it was fun. Turns out, 2 kids is the tipping point. where I'm like, all I want to do is sit here and have people bring me things.
Mm.
And that's exactly what I did for 4 days. Technically only 3 whole days and like half day one day, half day another. You know what I mean? Like it's a arrival and departure. And I sat and people brought me drinks that were watered down, um, and gave me food that was not that great, but it's fine because I didn't have my kids to look after. So it was great. I had a great time. And we stayed in a resort that was, all inclusive and no kids the entire time. And I'm glad that there weren't because we were in the shuttle on the way there, and this couple had like a little 2.5-year-old probably, and she was talking. And I mean, she was adorable, but like as we were going through it, I told Katie, I'm like, this place is adults only, right? My friend that I was traveling with, Austin and I, and she's like, oh yeah, and I'm like, okay, good. I don't need the guilt reminder that's and that I've left my child behind. But seeing that little girl, I'm like, she's so happy. So no kids. And in the resort, they have cable and everything. And my friend was telling me she was turned on the TV. It goes to the resort channels automatically. But she just like was perusing through the channels, one channel down. Whoa, straight hardcore pornography. She was like, when you're not expecting it's quite jarring. When 3 channels of it, as a matter of fact, right after another.
I have more questions.
She already
Jeez.
wants to know, how can you subscribe to Mexican cable?
Was it at all hours of the day? Or just
yeah.
after? Really?
Oh, middle of the day.
So, if Johnny was there, where's he at again? He said he needed to go to the room real quick.
I mean, I would have to have a serious problem, right? If that were the case. I'm taking my 5th shit of the day. Like,
Nap
one,
time.
like
Take a break.
there's 2 really big problems. If I'm really taking 5 shits, or if I'm jerking off 5 times a day. Either way, I'm fucking tearing myself apart. Like, it's just not realistic. And I have access to porn, so it's not a big deal. It's just very interesting for sure.
But this one was
That's
in
what my
Spanish.
friends. No. I did not.
Need a translator?
No, yeah. There was.
I think that's a money shot, but in Spanish.
No, I'm trying to remember. There was at least one scene with dialogue, but I don't remember if it was. Mostly, it's all that stuff. My friend's husband did say, it's like, I have not seen porn that big, as in on a television.
Oh,
Like
right.
he's like 10
You
years.
watch
He's
Because
like,
Medcast
it's
porn?
been because on a cell phone.
Oh, it's on the phone.
da-da.
Okay.
Yep. He's been
Yeah.
watching it on his phone for 10 years. He's like, it's so big.
So
Everything
he
is so
gave himself
large.
out. He gave himself away.
Oh, that's Paul. He doesn't give a shit.
Oh, okay. All right.
Wait, the couple with the baby, did they turn him away or no? What?
Oh no, that was a different resort. So they could
Oh,
take like the shuttles, and
gotcha.
like the shuttle pick you up and maybe drop somebody else at a different one. And it was fun. I had a really good time. And in fact, I did see someone listening to Nerds Talking the podcast. And I was like, I'm not going to say anything, but that's my podcast. And I also heard, as I was in the pool, drunk as fuck, I heard someone talking about podcasts. And immediately I whip around. I'm like, do you listen to podcasts? And I was like, well, let me tell you about the podcast that I'm on, which I do pretty much at any given opportunity.
Wait, did you
So
mention us, or were you all about
Impolite
impolite
society.
society?
I know, because you have options.
both. I mentioned both, but as long as we're mentioning it, Impolite Society did launch October 2nd. So we've got one
Yep.
episode out so far
Mhm.
about Satanism. So
Satan.
make your
Yep.
way over there.
Okay, so you had
Yeah,
no
that was
Mexico, actually anything. You didn't leave the resort. Like,
Nope.
When I went to
Not the
Cancun, we
ones.
actually walked around to the streets. Everybody's like, "Want to buy drugs? Want to buy
Nope.
cocaine?"
Oh, they still
Da-da-da-da.
do that on the beach at the resorts.
Oh,
They
at the
come up,
yeah,
they're like,
at
"You
the
want to buy a hat?" You're like, "No." They're like, "Drugas?" And
yeah.
I'm like, "No."
He's like, "Now you talking my language, son. I don't need no hat to protect me from shade. I need to get lit." So
I did
yeah,
buy a hat though because I needed a
fentanyl.
hat, and he was like 40, and I was like, "No." I said I got 20. He's like, "No," and I'm like, "Okay, see ya." And he's like,
Wait, 40 for like the big floppy hat?
"Yeah, yeah,
Pesos
yeah."
or
Oh no, push him into
dollars?
the
No,
ocean.
USD.
Yeah,
You
there's
got
just no
ripped off.
way. Yeah,
No,
this
I
is
said no. I don't want the 40, and I said
No,
20, and he
20
said
is a
no.
rip off.
20 is even too much.
Well, here's the thing. I was like, and he's like 30, and I'm like, it's hot. We're in Mexico. You're
Don't.
poor. You've been
Yeah,
hauling these fucking hats up and
you have
down
put way
this
too many
hot
factors
ass
into this decision.
beach. And I was like, fine. I gave him $30. I don't care. I'm on
But you're probably
vacation.
right. I mean, you're probably right. He probably sold his fifth hat of the day, and he probably ended up at 7 for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, who cares?
Yeah, who
I can help
cares?
somebody out in a small way. That's my altruistic move
That's your
of,
Tony
of
Robbins.
of the year. Yeah, my Tony Robbins moment. I overpaid for a hat in charity.
That's right.
I'll be
That's
waiting
right.
for my Nobel Peace
I don't
Prize.
know if it was
Peace
really in
Prize.
charity. I mean, that is his job, essentially. So, yeah. And when he comes
And I
back,
did need a hat.
yeah, and his boss is gonna be like, "You did very good. I mean, you sold how many hats today? Oh, this white lady. I told her 40. You know the hats are only 10. I got
He's
her
a
for
Middle
30."
Eastern guy working in
Stupid
Mexico.
Yeah, it's the Middle Eastern guy.
American.
Yeah, it's a Middle Eastern guy working in
Definitely.
Mexico.
Definitely stupid American.
Stupid American.
That's okay.
Yeah, yeah. When I went there, we went to go rent jet skis, and the guy that owned the jet ski shop used to live like 3 blocks from me in Redondo Beach.
Did you
I was like,
know
wait.
him, or he just told you that?
He told me, he was like, "Where you from?" I
Oh.
was like, "Redondo Beach." "Oh, where?" And then I told him the street. And he told me his streets, and he's like, "Dude, I lived there for like 30 years. I moved to Cancun to start this business, and blah blah." And we started talking for like 20 minutes, like we're old buddies. Then he gives me like the jet skis for almost nothing. He's like, "Dude, they're usually like $70 an hour, like just $20, bro." I was like, "Hell
Cool.
yeah!" And I was like, "Let's do it." And then, but yeah, he was cool. Even afterwards, he was still talking it up, like, "Oh, it's so nice. I wish I still lived there, but I live in, fucking Cancun. I can't complain." I was like, "Yeah, I mean, you got a business and you make a shitload of money off tourists. Yeah, you're just fine, buddy. You need dragas though? I know where to get them. The guy with the hats, on the beach, the Middle Eastern fella." So, well, sounds like you just went on a boring ass Mexico vacation.
I did. It was
We
very
wanted excitement.
unadventurous, but that's exactly what I was looking for.
So did it recharge the batteries?
Yeah.
Yeah. I came home and I was like, I'm not taking these kids because I was off today. I gave myself a day to recoup. I'm like, I'm not taking these kids to daycare today. And Austin was like, "You're not?" It's like, "You're gonna stay home with the 2 of them?" And I'm like, "You bet." And around 10 a.m., I regretted that decision, but then they went down for a nap, and then I was fine. So yeah, I do. I feel rested. I feel recharged.
And rechargeable batteries suck. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, that's humans, right? We're a bunch of
Yeah.
rechargeable batteries.
And
we fucking suck.
Wow. Okay, there we go. We'll take the break because we just got told we suck as a race, and that's okay.
A species, not a race.
Species.
Dummy.
Well,
Yeah,
human
not
race. Human race. That's what I'm using.
Species.
Human race. We're not, we're a human race because we're racing towards death, people. Boom. Just brought you down. Johnny will inspire us after the break here on Nerds Talking, the podcast.
New episodes of Nerds Talking every Friday. And don't forget about Taco Tuesdays every Tuesday, only here on the Nerds Review Network.
Welcome back to Nerds Talking, the podcast. Remember to rate, subscribe, review, turn on notifications, tell your friends every Friday, a new episode of Nerds Talking, the podcast. And I have Johnny here with me, and I have Laura with me, and I have Carlos with me. And it's gonna get a little scary. Friday the 13th is here today. If you believe in superstitions, today's like a cursed day of sorts. Can anybody look up why Friday the 13th has this kind of what would I call it, stigma about it, or like is there a reason?
Yeah, I mean, 13 in general is unlucky. That's a good question.
So the Google machine's at work. I see 2 people Googling it. I think Johnny won though.
All right.
Johnny.
So the first thing I saw was the unlucky nature of number 13 is a Norse myth about 12 gods having a dinner party in Valhalla. The trickster god Loki, who was not invited, arrived as the 13th guest. Yada, yada, yada. Bunch of people died. Got dark
That's
quick.
That's a good one.
one theory.
That's a good one. I don't know about that, but that's a good one. The next, anything else we got for Friday 13th?
Another theory. This is one of those things that it looks like they don't know. I mean, the world doesn't know. It's just been around so long that it's just kind of a thing. Another one is Christian associations. So, 12 apostles, and Jesus makes 13, and then at the Last Supper there were 13 guests, and then Jesus died. So.
Oh, yeah, that's a stretch.
And then Friday, Good Friday, number
Uh-huh.
13. I guess that, I think that maybe makes sense. I don't know.
Good
Nobody
Friday.
knows.
Okay.
It's
I
one
could,
of those stupid things that nobody knows.
yeah, I don't know. So Johnny has Norse gods. You have a biblical thing with Jesus. It's interesting. I haven't heard either of those before. I mean, I
What
only
have you
associate
heard?
Friday the 13th to the movies, to be honest. That's all I associate it with. And then you assume horror, scary, murderer, blah,
So
blah,
yours
blah.
is based on fact.
Mine is based on facts. Yours
Yeah,
is
yeah.
based on, well, Norse gods don't exist. And, well, the Bible, you can have your own opinion. But, yeah, mine's based on a legit serial killer. So that drowned in a lake, he looked kind of retarded. And then came back as a hockey player pissed off. So
Yeah, the legit fake one. Okay.
yeah. You can understand. You understand now. You understand. So there you go. So Friday the 13th is here, and we will go around the horn and talk about movies that scared the living daylights out of you growing up, or even currently. Maybe you saw something currently that, like, nope, I'm good on that. That's a little much. And so what movies do you remember watching and going, F that, I ain't gonna watch that again? So we'll start with Laura. Laura, give me a movie you remember watching and you were like, never again will I watch that movie.
Phantasm as a kid. I don't know how I managed to see a part of it, but I did. And it was of those silver fucking balls.
Oh, I remember.
That
Oh, I
flew
remember.
around and then burrowed into people and like
Yes.
gutted them. I don't think, and there was like some sort of like troll looking thing in the movie. I don't think I slept.
There
for,
was like a lurchy guy too, right?
He was the
Oh,
main
yeah,
bad
he's
guy.
like
The
the
bald guy
main
was the main
guy.
bad guy. He was a tall, skinny, bald. He's the one that creeped me out when I watched those movies as a kid.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that dude is creepy, and he controlled the balls. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, hell no. Yeah, it's funny you brought that up. That was, as a kid, that terrified me, that movie. And it wasn't the balls, it was the guy. The guy terrified me. I'm like, this old Mr. Burns looking motherfucker, he is scary. Like, what the fuck?
Looks like Mr. Burns, doesn't he?
So, he's just, that movie was terrifying, though. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, that movie scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. And then as an adult, the one movie, it's not that I'll never watch it again, but it did like get me when I went to go see it in the theaters, was The Descent.
Oh, yes, The Descent with the ladies in the cave.
I'm claustrophobic. So watching them go through those tiny fucking tunnels and then like it's just imminent death at any given moment. Like, are you gonna get stuck? Is it gonna collapse on you? Is one of these fucking monsters gonna eat my face or grab my feet? I was in the theater, like my shoulders were in my ears, my knees were in my chin. I was basically like curled up in a ball watching it. I really enjoyed it, but I've seen it since and I enjoyed it.
It's a good movie. It's definitely a really good horror thriller movie.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah.
Got me.
All right, we got 2 on the board. Johnny, a movie that terrified you as a child or even now. That's Friday the 13th is here.
I would say The Exorcist.
Oh, okay.
That was pretty freaking scary. The first time I watched it, they did a re-release, I don't know, early 2000s, and I was like, and they added a couple extra scenes, like
the spider walk down the stairs.
Yeah, that was pretty fucking creepy. But just the movie in general, like, and I saw that the re-release, I was like, yep, still fucking scary. Not a fan.
One dumb part in that movie, like really dumb.
Which one?
When her head spins around. It's so stupid. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
You
Just
don't think
zero
about these
sense.
things.
Why not?
You just
Well, think of
they would have killed her.
Yeah, she'd broke her neck
If
halfway
an
through.
owl can do it, why can't a human do it? Hold on.
What?
No,
So, yeah, no.
owls can do it.
So yeah, that
Owls
part was
do it,
Cannot
dumb.
turn their heads.
Yeah, that part was kind of stupid.
360. They can turn their heads 180.
Yeah, I saw the new movie.
She went all the
too.
way around. I haven't seen it in a while.
No,
So she goes all the way around.
Yeah, and her body stays still. It's so dumb.
Oh yeah. She has a
So-
detached vertebrae. And
Yeah, dude, not even that. And her
That the
skin.
demon exploited.
Her skin rotates.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
Yeah. No, you didn't see the scene after she spun at 360. It like spun back real fast.
that would have
Snap back.
made more sense. Yeah, but I saw the new one, and they do that scene again. But this time it breaks someone's neck. They actually made it make sense. I was like, but if you ever watch the Exorcist TV show, that's what happens every time that shit happens. Somebody's neck snaps, which was a good show.
There was an Exorcist TV show?
Yeah, back in 2016 on Fox. There's 2 seasons of it. Yeah,
Didn't even know.
yeah, pretty good. So I'll go then. Mine's Nightmare on Elm Street. The first time I saw Nightmare on Elm Street, I could not go to sleep.
Yes.
I was
because he'll come to your dreams and kill you.
Yeah. And not even that, even when the lights were off and I'm thinking, am I awake? And is this motherfucker hiding in the shadows? And yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street was terrifying. Just absolutely terrifying.
When you really think about it, it's super dark, right? Like Freddy, who was this ice cream man of some sort or whatever.
No, he was a
Child
school
molester.
Janitor / child
Janitor.
molester.
Yeah, I was getting the
Pedophile.
child molester part.
You're getting
He
to that
wasn't.
part,
He
I
wasn't just an innocent ice
You
cream
know what
man.
I like how the job doesn't matter, the occupation. Who gives a fuck? Who's a child molester?
I love how you guys are. No. He
Who
molested
corrected
children.
you?
I know he molested
But
children.
he was
guys.
a good janitor. Don't
just
down
saying
the
his
Spokesperson for Subway.
Okay.
Jesus.
What is your deal? Why would you do that to
Deep
good old
Fred
Fred
Jared.
Krueger? Anyway, go ahead.
Think about
continue.
that every time you hear the ice cream man in your neighborhood.
And then it does the
Fucking child molester.
1, 2,
Kill him!
bears coming
No,
for
but it's
you.
super dark, right? Like the parents of the neighborhood, like, hey, he's molesting our kids. Let's fucking set him on fire and like keep it a
I'm
secret.
fine with it.
Oh, they kill his ass. Yeah, they kill his ass in the shed. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I'm good
super
with it.
dark. And then
why was?
Yeah.
But why is he getting revenge?
well,
Because
Necessarily getting revenge, because were the kids in the movies related to the parents?
yes.
well, no,
Oh,
that's what I'm saying.
Okay,
yeah,
then yes, he was.
he's
Never
killing
mind.
the kids of the parents. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, so then he's
but-
getting revenge.
But the parents got revenge first.
Well, he goes
This
down.
is
down
revenge.
the family tree. Like, hey, you were their neighbor.
He does
And
though.
Haunt your
I-
dreams. Go to sleep.
He does though.
and
Like he
Eye
killed
for
Johnny
an
Depp.
eye leaves the whole world blind.
Yeah. Well, he killed Johnny Depp, and Johnny Depp was just a boyfriend of the main girl. That's right. You're
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
How
Good old
dare
Johnny.
they?
And Johnny's death was ridiculous, but it was like at the time you're like, oh, that's so gross.
See the one
it
that got
was- at
clapped
the
up in the bed?
It was he got sucked
Yes.
into the bed. Yeah.
Yeah.
But how did
Stupid.
he get sucked in? He got lured in by a naked chick
He did.
who went from the poster on his wall to in the waterbed.
Yep.
And I was like, Mom, we got to get a waterbed.
It
never happened.
Can lure me to my death
Yeah.
any day.
Yeah. Yeah. That movie.
Typical
I'm telling you.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah. That movie. That movie did it, man. Carlos, your scary movie.
For me, it was Poltergeist. And there was
Okay.
a specific scene in Poltergeist. One of the crew members of whoever's doing this documentary or whatever they were working on in the house, the ghost hunters, whoever they were, he's eating a piece of chicken. And then he realizes it's maggots. So he spits it out in the sink. And then when he looks up into the mirror, he's in the bathroom. He sees something on his face and he starts going like this, like touching it, peeling away. And he starts peeling his face away.
Yeah.
Just chunks of his face. That scared the shit out
I
of me.
remember that. Yeah.
As a kid, that scared the shit out of me.
That is a scary scene, though.
I haven't seen
remember
Poltergeist since.
Well, they did a remake maybe like 5 years
Yeah, it
ago.
was shitty.
You saw the remake?
Yeah.
Did they have that scene in it,
No.
Johnny?
Yeah. What about a TV show?
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Tales from the Dark Side. Do you remember that?
yeah, of course.
At the very beginning, it was based on, it was like a a bunch of devil's trinkets, right, or cursed items, and they were sold out of this antique shop. And certain items would do certain things, like maybe one would give you fame, but then it would also like you'd have to kill somebody to keep it going, type of thing. The other one would maybe like bring you power or something like that. And anyways, a lot of people had to die, but
This the one with the crypt keeper at the beginning?
No, that's Tales
No,
from the
that-
Crypt. This
Oh.
one's
Yeah,
different.
Tales from the Dark Side. It was
Yeah, it's different.
yeah, it's different, but every episode they were like trying to get a piece of an artifact back and lock it back in the tomb. But the beginning of that show was super fucking creepy. It has like a narrator. All the shots that he does is like, I don't know, I feel like it's very Salem witchcrafty vibe, and that shit was super scary for me.
That reminds me of the Friday the 13th TV show. Sounds a lot like that. They had to
Maybe
go
it
out and
was
get
Friday.
artifacts and bring them back and put them in a vault, like an old
You know why it reminds you of that?
Victorian house.
Because
it
that's
was.
what it is.
That's what it was.
Yeah, okay.
But
I
the
don't know
13th.
what I was talking about.
But
It was
there-
Friday the 13th.
yeah, the
Yeah,
TV
yeah.
show,
Yeah.
because people complain about the show not having Jason,
Jason.
in it. Just like, remember the Nightmare on Elm Street TV show didn't have Freddy in it, but
don't remember that
he
show.
was always at the beginning, and he would do
Oh,
the
he was.
introduction to the show.
Yeah.
He's like, in this story, you're gonna see Evelyn, and she wants this. And then he like does his little 5-minute bit, and then that's it. It's all only time you see him is just that. That's it. You don't see him again. Carlos, give me a movie.
I don't know the name of the movie, but
Super scary though.
Is it
because
Tales
it
from the
was
Dark
a
Side?
house, it was a haunted house, and it didn't want the family to leave. Every time the family tried to leave, someone would die. And so they is one of those, I don't know, it was in the 80s. They always made these scary movies for TV. My mom would always watch them. She'd always put a pillow over her face because she was scared to watch it, so she never actually saw it. And I'd watch with her, and then all I remember at the end was they finally got out of the house, got in the car, but mom was still upstairs, or the grandma. So the husband ran back into the house, and the house threw him out the window. He landed in the car's windshield, and everybody was scared. And that movie ended. Like, those movies scared the shit out of me.
Man, that house. How much
That
that house goes for
sounds
now?
vaguely familiar.
Yeah, somebody has to Google. Just all you gotta do is put a couple of things
Johnny,
into
are
Google.
you on it?
Yeah.
It'll pop up. But that house is probably still worth 1.5 right now.
So
Making
you
that
remember
up.
this as a kid?
Yeah,
Yeah, interesting.
I remember watching it in the basement
Interesting.
in the house in Canada.
Wow,
I was
it
gonna
a
say,
Canadian
I was like,
movie.
dude, our neighborhood didn't have basements, so you got
You're remembering
Yeah, clearly a
incorrectly.
Canadian movie. The original Blob scared me as a kid. The Blob, that one scared me. You guys, have you seen the? Carlos has seen the Blob. I know that, but the original one scared the shit out of me. The old man finds the actual meteor, sticks to his walker, and then and basically eats him, and then it just keeps going through town, just swallowing everything. Yeah, that one. As a kid, I was like, oh hell no,
Was
I'm
that-
not finding
was that-
meteors.
With Steve Gutenberg, that was Cocoon. Yeah,
Cocoon, no, not Cocoon. No,
super scary.
You watched the wrong one, stupid.
Not my first time.
There's a good one on Netflix called Red Eye, and basically it's about a woman that's she's a vampire on a red eye flight, and shit hits the fan, and she just starts killing everybody. I think we may have all
make a
watched
movie
that.
called
Yeah.
Red Eye. It had Cillian Murphy in it.
I don't know, but there you go. And I did see the new Exorcist movie, which I would not recommend. So the first half, great build up, good story, and then the second half to introduce the old lady from part one, and it all goes downhill, and it just turns into crap. We're gonna move on to
Everyone's
quirks.
looking at it.
Quirks, Laura. What are your quirks? What are your quirks are almost like a form of it's not HDHD. It's what do you call it when you
HD.
when you do things in three? What's that called?
OCD.
OCD. You know.
But
What-
I don't know. Quirks
You just
are
threw random letters together. That's not HDHD. Is not a fucking thing.
HD
ADHD.
AD. No, it's
HD.
ABC. Oh, okay.
As easy as sorry.
1, 2. Okay, go ahead. What's your quirks, Laura? What is your quirks?
I have a bunch of them.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just gonna start with one that I know is weird, but it's maybe one of my least weird. I choreograph in my head. I choreograph fights, and I choreograph dances in my head all the time.
So do you
know.
see like somebody like walking in a
Yes.
parking lot and be like 5, 6, 7, 8?
Yes. Yes. I like
Alright.
compose like whole scenes in my head. Like if there's a song that I like, I'm like, ooh, like this move and then that move and then, but fight wise, it's something that I started, I don't know, when I was like 9. Like I would be bored in church, and then because I went to Catholic school all throughout grade school and high school, and so I thought of like this very dramatic like action like movie that I would go to in my head, and I'd choreograph fights, and I do it all the time. I don't know why. It's just something that I do.
That's
Okay.
not what I think of when I think of quirk.
I don't think
That's
so
not
either.
that's kind of weird, but that's not
Only-
a quirk,
It's
right?
not
Like
a quirk so much.
Is a
wouldn't
quirk like a physical thing?
I think
for example, like
so.
there was a girl at my work when she this is weird. So I walked in and she was eating a burrito, but then she had salsa in her hand. So she'd take a bite of burrito and then drink the salsa. And that's just
Now that's a
Something.
quirk. Yeah, that's a quirk.
something that she does. And then her defense was like, well, I do it with everything, and I don't it's less messy this way. I'm like, if you're on a first date, like that's gotta be weird, right? To the
Not
other
even that.
person.
Yeah, and then she doesn't like leaving a mess or dripping or anything. So she's giving you hints,
Not a
Johnny.
great
Giving
first
you
date.
hints.
Not gonna end well.
Mhm.
Yeah, she just got more attractive.
Yeah. Just thought about it.
Yeah. Oh, like have you ever seen Everybody Loves Raymond?
At once.
Yeah.
Does that qualify?
Yes.
All right.
So the big brother Robert, he has this quirk where he touches everything to his chin before he eats, and that was based on Ray Romano's real life older brother, who did that, and he said that it was like it was a baseball thing, like you get up to bat and like maybe you tap the plate twice or you know tap the bat to your cleats or something like that 4 times. Like
Yeah.
Pablo Sandoval had a really weird,
Oh, he had a crazy
long
one
ass, yeah,
where he jumped over home plate and then danced back and tapped the bat and
and then struck out.
that's
No, he was
So
he was okay. The panda.
The
No,
panda was good.
but
So it has to be something observable in other cases.
Well, yeah, because
I
your
would think
quirk
so.
can't be in your head.
Yeah.
Because
okay,
'cause-
then never mind.
Then I'm
Mine are all
perfect.
mental quirks.
I'm
Sorry.
perfect then.
I mean, mental quirks. I mean, that's not a quirk. That's what I'm saying, though. A
What?
quirk is almost like an OCD in a sense, though, too. Something that you
Okay.
have to do, or you find yourself doing it. Like Johnny said, that woman can't stop drinking the salsa with the burrito. Like she can't dip it, she can't pour it on. No. It's like, look, why does she always? Because it's almost like, why does he keep doing that? Well, he has a quirk. That's what he fucking does.
I dated a girl who had a weird quirk. She was like, I eat pancakes are really weird. I just want to let you know.
Oh, I gotta hear this one.
There was nothing too strange about. So she would cut her pancake into a shape of a star, right? So she would eat out like little pie shaped edges until it looked like a star, and then she would eat each piece of the star and then eat the rest. And that's
There's
just the
nothing really
way.
weird about that. Yeah.
That's
I mean,
cute.
it's a quirk though, for sure.
Yeah.
It's something that like not everybody does. It's
You should have. Yeah. You should have asked the house to throw her out the window. They're nonsense ass. What's your quirk, Johnny?
oh, I don't have any quirks,
Oh, what the?
but I observe them all the time.
Okay. Well,
And
yeah.
I
Especially in your
don't,
profession.
I don't
Oh
know
my
if
God.
this is a quirk, but I was at one job where, like, so I was in the restroom and I was washing my hands and I look up in the mirror and the dude behind me is taking a piss, but his pants are all the way to the ground. Like he was like 4 years old and just
Was he
pissing.
drunk?
You just slapped his ass.
It was work, and
That's
I
not a
just
quirk,
I just
though.
saw his butt cheeks and I was like,
Yeah.
huh,
You know what that
I
was?
haven't seen that in a long time.
That was an
And-
invitation, Johnny.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Uh-huh. That was
That
an
was an
invitation.
invitation.
Mhm.
No, I feel like the blowjob was an invitation.
I
mean, And like I finished super fast, so
Did you?
yeah.
And you tell him about the salsa chick, how you don't spill either?
get it.
You mean quirk? Carlos Quirk? He's
I don't
like,
think I have any
I don't have
quirks.
quirks.
I don't
Nobody
have
has
any quirks.
Who came up with this?
No, because
topic?
because quirks. Well, if Hugh has, I can tell you about Hugh's quirk.
Good enough for me.
Hanging out with the guy for so long. Every time he sits down and eats, even if it's his own food that he made himself, he'll pick the piece up. He smells it, then he eats it.
That's a quirk.
Each piece.
No, he'll like say, for example, if he's eating chicken, he'll cut a piece of the chicken, smell it. It's okay. I can
Ooh.
eat the whole thing.
I don't
Olives,
like that.
he'll pick up an olive, smell it.
That's
That
weird.
one's good. So I'm gonna. It doesn't
Like
smell bad.
it's one thing if you like smelled your whole plate. This is a good meal I'm
That's
about
different.
to have.
That's an aroma thing.
You,
But for him, it's a
you,
paranoia thing.
yeah, like, and he's not trained in poison control or anything like that. Like, how the fuck would he know?
Idiot. He saw the game. He's probably a professional in most things. So you're stupid. And you're a cop. What
It was a
dummy.
really good movie.
Oh my god, I hate
I
you.
knew this guy who every time he put his gun into his gun locker, he had to do it like 3 or 4 times. His
That's so
OCD was
Yeah.
pretty severe, but just the rest of them was really quirky, and it was like one of those guys like, I'm gonna be really nice to this guy because
You never
I would
know.
not be surprised, if he came and murdered this whole like building, and he's gonna remember me. I gave him that Snickers.
Yeah, but if
You're
you give him
not
a
gonna murder
Snickers,
me, right?
yeah, you're telling him like you're not yourself without a Snickers. So
Yeah.
Laura, give me another brain quirk. I'm just interested in what another brain quirk. Another mind quirk.
Yeah, what
a
else
hell of
is
a
rolling
great
on in
show
that
name.
head?
Welcome to Mind
Very
Quirks.
okay. I did think I do have one on my list that is an observable thing.
Mhm.
When I'm nervous, I wink at people. And it's unfortunate because it's fucking weird. I don't know why.
It is weird though. I'm not gonna lie. That is weird. Could you
I-
I'm
imagine
just trying to think of like
just having a
inappropriate
conversation?
scenes.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
the first time I slept with my husband. Wink. Like,
I
it feels so
Right.
good. Wink, wink. Or like, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
I'm just nervous. I'm just nervous.
But like I will be like walking like to and from like work meetings. Like if somebody like locks eyes with me, I'll be like, and I'm like, why did I just do that? And
So
it'll
wait,
be male or
even the-
female. It doesn't matter.
It'd be better too if you did the finger guns. Oh, that'd be so good.
No, but it's even the wink with the mouth action. Like,
No.
Okay.
No.
'Cause
no,
that's
I
what you
don't
just
agree.
did.
That whole thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that
like,
my older brother can't wink. He can't wink without going like this.
Yeah, he has to move his
He
whole
has
face.
to make that noise.
He has to move his whole face. Yeah.
That's to
Like,
make
why are
the
you making that noise?
too.
Like
That's
people that
not
can't
what we're
whistle
supposed to
piss
do?
me off either.
I can't whistle.
Oh, I'm
Do you want to
pissed
hear my
off.
whistle?
Yeah, go for it. Okay, nothing.
my dog is fucking spinning around right now.
Did you hear
Literally
anything?
nothing. Zero.
I
No, it's too high
made
pitch.
some
It's too high.
noise. I
What do you mean?
promise
Did
you.
you
What
hear
it is,
anything?
it's- your mic didn't pick it up. Is this too
Yeah.
high? Johnny, you whistle.
You can't hear it.
Maybe you know what? Maybe because the pitch is too high, you can't hear it.
It has
Yeah.
to be. Yeah.
Carlos, try it. I just want to see if it's the microphones. Your microphone's different. Ours are all the same. Nope, can't hear his either. Wow. No, Johnny's
I
still
can
whistling.
whistle. I can totally whistle. Mm-hmm. You just
Hmm.
wouldn't know.
You just can't hear it
Wink.
over the mic.
You just heard the wind. I don't even know. It does anyway. So that's its quirk right there. Yeah, it's like a
Mhm.
nervous tick almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, nervous tick. See, that's actually different. A nervous tick is different. When you're nervous, what
That's a
happens?
quirk.
Like anything happens when you're nervous. So when I used to perform like rap, my back would always tense up right before I went on stage, like big.
Like how
time.
bad?
Oh, horribly bad. Until I actually got on stage and like got into like character. Like it was almost like I was Clark Kent, and then someone said, "You're up. Give me the microphone." And then I was like, "Ah, I transform into this guy." But
And then
right
it goes
before I went
away.
on- Oh, it goes away completely. But beforehand, my back would completely tense up, and and sometimes my legs would do it, and I'm like, "Oh shit, there we go." And then, like I said, as soon as you stepped on stage and the music played, you're like, "Oh, yo, and then it's gone." Like I was like, oh, "Okay, here we go." So, yeah, it's something that always happened. So, but I think nervous quirks are different. I mean, are more common. So.
I mean, it's not like a tick because a tick is something that's kind of uncontrollable.
Yeah, tick is different. I have a
Yeah.
buddy that
Tourette's type of.
I have a buddy that he coughs just randomly through conversations.
Yeah.
Like and he doesn't ever go away.
Yeah.
He'll just, as you're talking to him, he'll cough 20 times in in a 5-minute conversation.
Wow. That is a lot.
Yeah. It never stops. And then sometimes he can't stop wagging his arms. Like just
that sounds like a mild version of just a tick thing.
It is.
Medication.
He has
can't help with that.
Oh no, don't tell him that. Nothing's wrong with him.
Oh,
We tell him to
okay.
his face. Yeah. Oh, I've told him before because he has this thing where we play golf. He has to take 4 practice swings before every time he hits the ball, no matter what. And if you tell him no practice swings, he starts pitching a bitch like a little kid. Because he has
sounds
that,
like he does need medication.
like that OCD/quirk. Like he can't
Yeah.
get away from it. He has to do it. Yeah. So
Have you met those people that will their way through things? It's a
Oh yeah.
like I had a sergeant in the military who was like, before formation, get your vehicles.
Yeah. He's like the guy from Office Space.
Sling blade that shit.
Oh, Sling
That
Blade.
can be a way to kind of also compensate for a stutter. That's like a
Johnny.
trick that
Wow.
speech therapists will teach people, or they'll come across it themselves in order to get rid of a stutter. They will elongate words, and like that's kind of like a thing. And then the filler of it's a thing.
I don't know. Well, like I've caught the wife doing it a few times, and it's not during conversation. It's just she'll be sitting there and or if she like gets up off the couch. I mean,
is she being possessed?
bring it on, because I've got plans too. I know exactly where she's been buried.
Wow. It's
And
Friday
that-
the 13th. Good call.
Yeah. Now I work at the courthouse, so I have access to plenty of lawyers.
Yeah, you do. Remember, don't walk under ladders. Is it break mirrors or let a black cat walk past you today?
I read the mirrors thing was I want to say 1500, something like that, in like Europe, where mirrors were like hard to come by, or the materials for mirrors were hard to come by. And so that was brought up as a superstition. You're gonna have all this bad luck if you break this mirror. You gotta be careful with
fucking
it.
expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
I could see that one. Yeah. I don't understand the ladder one, though. Don't walk under a ladder. That one I don't
It
know.
could fall
That's
on you.
some painters started
That's what I'm
that
thinking
shit.
too. Some painter started that shit because he accidentally walked under a ladder and the shit
You
collapsed
gonna
on him.
die if you walk under my ladder.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit.
And the black cat thing, I mean, that's the thing. Black cats have always had a bad rap because of Friday 13th. Yeah.
They belong
I
to
get the mirrors
witches.
thing though. Mirrors can be
witches.
freaky. Like if you think too hard about them when you're sitting in
Uh-huh.
front of them, or if you're kind of high and you sit in
Okay.
front of them.
So you need
They're
some
kinda
type of
freaky.
psychedelic. I got you.
I mean,
Yeah.
like,
I
have you ever seen the
mean-
movie Cora?
Yeah.
the-
Well,
yeah.
have you ever seen the movie Cora? Damn it. The movie I had in mind slipped past me, so I have to go revert back to Cora.
But like she's in like the
You're an
mirror
idiot.
world, and like
Oculus.
everything's kind of
Oculus.
backwards.
That's it.
No, I haven't seen Oculus. But I mean,
Oculus
it's
is
kinda freaky.
good. Yeah, it's good. Oculus is basically 2 siblings that look into an old mirror that their mom kept in the attic, and you see yourself, but it's actually your evil self. Then they'll pull your ass in, and they're the ones that take over. They jump out of the mirror, start killing folks.
Maybe
You have
I
to find
have
your way
seen
back out of the mirror.
Oh,
Yeah.
Family Guy did something like that. It was Evil Peter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
pretty good. Pretty good.
mirrors are, remember the old Bloody Mary thing? Close the bathroom.
Oh yeah, and I think it all goes back to something being weird about mirrors. That people like them, obviously, but they also kind of freak you out when you think too hard about it.
I mean, mirrors. I mean, Carlos had a good one from Poltergeist, right? He looked in the mirror and he's like, "What's wrong with my face?" And he started peeling the
Mhm.
shit off. And the whole idea of you turn the light on and somebody's in the mirror with you, you turn it back off and then back on. No one's in the mirror. Of course,
Yep.
people, none of this is real, but that's Friday 13th for you. It's a scary.
Could you
scary-
imagine, like, if that, because Bloody Mary, you're supposed to like recite the name, or
Yes, you
or
say it
do
5
something like
times
that,
with
and
the
then she
lights
just-
off in the bathroom.
yeah, she's just supposed to appear.
Yeah,
But if she was the actual ghost and people are fucking doing it like crazy on Halloween, she's busy as fuck. She's like Santa Claus. She's like, fuck, another mirror I gotta go to.
Not even that. She doesn't even
Tired of
ever.
killing folks.
No, she never gets to go because she's always, oh, my pager keeps blowing up. I gotta be over here now. I gotta be over here now.
Yeah.
She only gets to one stop in the night, and
She gets
keeps
that
writing-
911
Yeah.
page.
She's writing in her little notebook. Okay, I gotta be in Minnesota, Wyoming, Korea.
It'd be
Fuck.
more efficient if I went up north and
No?
then
Yeah.
east. Yeah.
And by the time midnight strikes, she's like, "Fuck it."
That's why she
I'll be back
looks so
next year.
bad when she appears in the mirror.
Yeah,
She's
'cause
fucking
just
traveling
fucking
all night
tired as
long.
Shit.
She had no time for personal care.
And then when she
Just
does
none.
show up, all she says is, "Johnny, can I take a nap?" I'm not gonna kill you, I promise. I need a nap. Like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'd
Kill you,
invite her
bitch.
in. Wait, is that her or me?
You're gonna kill her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. I just want to throw that at you because you know lawyers, so you'll get away with it.
I do know lawyers.
Yeah. What's your defense about killing a ghost?
The defense would be like you'd get experts up there about like what is life. The person's already dead. It's just like when you've heard of people like being on the electric chair and they like die for a second, but then they come back to life. Well, technically, they already killed them. So
That's it.
are
That's
they
right.
free or
No.
They died for 5 minutes. They should
Is,
be.
is that why they sentenced them to like 2 life terms? Just in case they survive the first.
right?
I was on a case where it was a child molest case. It was a very, very terrible. But the dude is getting like over 600 years in prison.
Not enough.
What the offer was like 120. He's like, fuck it, I may as well go to trial. Like either way, I'm not ever seeing the light of day as a free man. But 600,
what else
can
I
you
got to do?
imagine 600 goddamn years, like 40, 50 years in your sentence? You're like, only 600 to go. Like, how do you mark that in your cell?
I do think it's
He
interesting
is
when they
good.
give somebody like 10 life sentences. That's 25 years per, isn't it? So you're like,
It's symbolic, I think.
It is.
No,
it
right.
is.
It's
So
for the families. And then there's
Yeah.
also like, let's say the person gets 20 life sentences for 20 victims. And then it turns out that 2 of these cases are overturned because maybe they died of a heart attack or something like that. Well, you don't want the dude to walk out. So you just take away
Mhm.
2 life sentences and he still has to serve the rest. So it's an insurance policy of sorts. It's like the general insurance, you know.
just like Wild with Shaq. Just like it.
Yeah, it's
Just
totally
like it.
dependable.
Yeah, there you go. The general insurance. All right. Well, those are quirks. We got head quirks and we got wing quirks. They're just Laura's. They're just all Laura's. Johnny brought up
anybody-
somebody
yeah,
else's.
Yeah.
Nobody else choreographs any fight scenes. or
No,
dance
okay,
scenes.
mental quirks for other people then. Come on.
Oh, yeah. No,
I
Oh,
used to
that
count
happens
my
a lot.
steps.
What?
Oh, I used to do that.
I used to
Oh,
count
really?
my steps. Yeah.
Oh, no, never
Mhm.
did that.
I used to know how many steps it was from my house to Johnny's house. I don't remember anymore, but I used to count my steps.
76.
I used to do that all the time too.
You remember that I don't know, myth of like you step on a crack, you break
Like
your
breaking
mom's back.
back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man, that shit never worked.
You kept
You were
stomping on
stomping
it. You were stomping on it.
That bitch beat me so much. I was like, all right, you want to see something? And I
Hey,
just
man.
go outside.
I like how your mom's looking out the window. You're just stomping on the
Yeah.
sidewalk. She's like,
Ooh, okay. 20
"What is he
cracks. Okay,
doing?"
I got something for you when you get home.
Exactly. She's gonna crack your
Whoop my
back.
ass.
The freaking bamboo stick.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh.
even she's getting older. Back is fine. I don't know what to do. I'm trying to kill this bitch for years.
What's funny though is
Just
Laura.
kidding, mom.
What she said was when I was at church, I would basically
Yeah,
again,
like-
it's
like the
it's
Kingsman.
daydreaming.
She's thinking of a fight scene in church.
Yeah, it's like I'm daydreaming about what if I was a Superman, and I would just literally the whole hour is playing in my head. Oh, I'd be doing so cool stuff, and then church is over. I'm like, oh really?
I do
Oh.
like that in movies though, where they like have a scene play out, and you're like, oh shit, and then it was just a person like daydreaming. You know,
That's my life,
That's your whole entire life. That's your quirk. Your life's a quirk.
pretty much.
Oh, I feel bad for you now. So nobody has a quirk but you. It's so like my brother, my older brother has like a nervous laugh he does. Like really, like all the time. If he's nervous, he does this really fake laugh, just in the
Oh.
middle of a conversation.
He does another thing too. When he's either nervous or lying, When he first got glasses, he'd always grab them like this.
Yeah, you always know when he's nervous or he's lying. He constantly messed with his glasses. Yeah,
So like
when he was
you're playing
bullshitting.
poker with him. Oh shit.
Yep.
He's going all in.
Oh yeah. He also has this thing where if he's uncomfortable too, he can't stop like the fake smile. And it's like it just yeah. It's
Like,
yeah.
Better
First
than
time
the
he-
wink.
First time
Oh,
he
the
got
wink
laid.
is the worst.
Pretty bad.
No, you know what my wife's quirk is? It's actually kind of annoying. And I don't know if it's a quirk or a nervous reaction, but she just lies for no fucking reason.
Quirk. She's just a liar.
Well, I mean,
No,
like
I
Sounds like
used
a
to do that
problem is what
too.
it sounds like.
no, well, this one is because I'll ask her a question and she doesn't like know the answer, or wasn't prepared and she's off guard. Well, I did it because of this. So the other day, I was taking a shower and I was like, the bathroom lights were off, but the what do you call it? The bedroom lights were on, so I could still like see. I was like, huh? She's like getting ready for bed. She's gonna turn off all these lights. I fucking know it. Just wait. So I'm just like taking a shower. I'm watching her. She goes into the bathroom where I'm at, and then she leaves, and then she turns off all the lights. And then once the lights go off, I'm like, hey, the fuck? I'm taking a shower. She's like, oh, I thought that you had the lights on already. I'm like, you obviously didn't think that was the case because you were just in the bathroom and you're just lying for no reason. And we had I would say a conversation. I wasn't yelling per se, but I was like, you know what? You're lying. That's obviously not the truth. You were in the bathroom. You just fucking didn't think about me. You were being inconsiderate. Lights, like, look over there. And then she just fucking
That's it.
put the
She
blanket
pulled
over her head, and then
Wait,
that was it. End of
she-
conversation.
She pulled a fucking Bugs Bunny on you.
No, but like when you ask her like a question, hey, why'd you do that? Oh, I thought you were doing this, or I thought it was okay because of this. Like, it's just I would say that's a quirk, a fucking annoying quirk that makes me want to punch her.
I used to do
You know
that
what?
when I was a teenager.
Just lie,
Yeah.
like a
I
nervous
would-
lie, or just like to lie for attention.
No. Not lying as to get attention, but like people would ask me questions and I would know what answer that they wanted, and I would, and if it wasn't the truth, it would just kind of fall out of my mouth, and then it'd be like, in my head, I'm like, why did I just do that?
Give me an example.
Like people would be like, oh, this movie was really well, it was so great. That movie was so funny. Have you seen it? Yeah. And then I'm like, I haven't seen that movie. Why did I just say that?
Oh, I did that
Or-
in high school all the time, though. I would actually tell them, I'd recap all the trailers I've seen, and they'd be like, "Yeah, you did see it." I'm like, "Yeah,
Mm.
and they
No,
all
but it
believed it.
wasn't on purpose to me. Like if they were to ask me questions, like I would have to, try to make something generic up. But then as I got older, I would just be like, no, I didn't see it. I don't know why I said that. My brain just said that.
I told my
And then now I don't do it at all.
I told my second grade teacher that I went to Norway because she was
Oh, you told us
like,
this.
yeah, she was like showing slides, and I was like, well, I've been in Norway. Food was great. It was
Second
fine.
grader just blurting
Yeah,
shit out.
Just no reason. I
Uh.
don't know what a Norway is. I still don't know. Or we had that guy that lived down the street, Leo.
Oh,
That
yeah.
motherfucker would lie for no goddamn reason.
all
Like,
the time.
so I was a
all
little
the
bit of a
time.
klepto. Like nothing too bad when I was a kid. Maybe a lighter or a toy that would fit in my pocket, type of thing.
I was a klepto too.
Yeah. So I would like show it to him, like, hey, look at what I got. That's mine. That's the first thing I was like, wait, it couldn't be yours because I stole it. And then so like we're both in the wrong. Like he's a fucking liar, but I'm a fucking thief. So who was better? I don't know.
Plus
So
Leo.
awesome. I love that story.
Yeah. Oh, fucking Leo. All right. Well, I think that's all we got. All the quirks. And I mean, really not much of any. But hey,
I like that.
Laura choreographs fights in her brain, and that's what matters.
Oh, I
people.
have other ones too.
Oh,
When you
okay.
choreograph a fight scene between me, Carlos, and Lafayette, who wins?
I haven't done that, but I'll work on it and just
Oh, yeah, work on
naturally
it.
I'll let my brain, cull on it and I'll report back.
That's right. I like
Keep
it.
in mind, like choreograph it with some facts in hand. I am a bit
Okay.
stronger than Carlos,
Yep.
and I have 4 classes of jujitsu under my belt. The belt is
Wait,
pretty big.
time out. You went to 4 classes?
Yeah, well, So I went to 4 actual classes.
That's what I mean. You went to 4 classes.
But I
Uh-huh.
used to. They call it rolling. I used to roll.
Yeah, I know. My
with,
buddy does it. Yeah.
with the dudes at the jail all the time.
Gay.
Wait, no.
Oh.
The fellow
does that mean?
officers, not
Roll?
What is that?
not inmates. Not like, hey boys,
All right. That's
Daddy's
what I mean.
home.
Like,
No,
open up cell
rolling
is like-
C16. Here I come, Mark. Let's roll around, buddy.
Yeah, open cell C16. Yeah, that's how it works.
As they roll around, what are you in for again, Mark? For molesting gay dudes.
No
Oh,
names,
no.
no names. Just close your eyes. No, rolling is like wrestling, but in jujitsu, you're trying to choke them out or make them tap by, putting pressure on them or trying to make them choke out, that type of thing.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It's
So
not.
just keep that
There's
in
no-
mind when
he has
you
no advantage
Okay.
in
when
your
you
mind
do
'cause of
these
that.
choreographed
No
scenes. And then
advantage.
Lafayette
Remember, he's
is
slow.
gonna go down like a rag doll. Like
He's
like
slow.
if anything, Carlos might win because he's gonna rip
Yeah.
Lafayette's fucking stupid head off and throw it
I'm
at
gonna
me.
I'm gonna like kick him in the kneecaps from behind. They're gonna collapse. Then I'm gonna punch them in the back of the head. they're gonna
Lafayette would run
die.
away or
Yeah,
just get away fast. You seem like a fast guy. Like you'd
He's
I just,
that-
you know what?
that
dodge out of there real
Just let
fast.
them fight,
Yeah.
and then I would just tell Laura's brain, "Am I winning?"
You know what? I feel like Lafayette would be that guy in the movies, the hype man or the court
Right.
jester type of thing.
I'd be like, the
that's
sideline.
not how you kick some people. I fucking kick people all the time.
Yeah,
With
that
my
is
little
true.
mustache.
Yeah, that
You
is
can see my
true.
skin through my mustache. It's
You
super
can see
thick.
it on the sides. Yeah, doesn't connect, son of a bitch. Anyway,
Brought
that's
out
our
my
show.
fucking worst fears.
That's our show, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Nerds Talking, the podcast. It is Friday the 13th. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. I don't know what that would be, but don't walk under ladders. If you see a black cat, don't let them cross your path, and don't break any mirrors. So for Laura,
Bye.
for Johnny,
Be safe.
for Carlos.
Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. Nerds Talking, the podcast. We'll catch you next time.